Power washing, why is it important and what should HOAs be concerned about when they're selecting a vendor? We'll talk about that and more with Ford Wagner from Aqua Blast right here on the HOA Leadership Network.
This is just a cold water machine with the same thing, 12 gallons per minute. So we combine the two when we're doing our parking garages, and we're doing 24 gallons per minute in water, which is a ton of water. When you look at your normal spigot, it's only about 3 gallons per minute.
Hi everybody, I'm Mark Foster on the HOA Leadership Network. I'm here today with Ford Wagner, who is co-owner of Aqua Blast here in Minnesota. We're on site at the Thomas Lake apartment complex in Eagan, Minnesota, where Ford, you're running a project. Tell me a little bit what's going on here today.
Absolutely. We're out here in Eagan, as you said, and we're cleaning parking garages. This is a big facility. We got 4 buildings, approximately 100 parking stalls per building. It's going to be a 2-day project. But the main goal of what we're doing today is getting these garages cleaned for the tenants or the homeowners. And why we want them clean, we're getting all the dirt, sand, grease, any type of buildup that happens in these garages, A, to prevent them from getting inside these buildings, which creates a whole nother problem. And then B, just to bring that longevity to these garages where it's not deteriorating whatever surface we are cleaning.
Okay, I would think a lot of people don't realize that power washing is not just a sort of an outside external thing. You do garages and other areas they may be inside.
Parking garages are probably where we're inside most commonly. But we also do pool areas, pool decks, indoor pools, clean out the pools themselves, but also the decks around them.
So why should HOAs, as they're considering maintenance, right, regular maintenance programs, they're concerned about roofs, they're concerned about concrete, they're concerned about other surfaces, right, maintaining those surfaces. Why should power washing be part of a regular schedule in terms of maintenance at a property?
Well, the easiest answer and the most visual answer that I think a lot of people will see is just the curb appeal, right? When you're in these HOA communities and people are talking about the resale, for a lot of people, their most valuable asset they have, having that curb appeal for the community. They want people coming in. If you're in a rental community, attracting strong tenants into a nice, clean facility. But on top of that is the longevity of these products too. Keeping your siding clean and all that organic growth, dirt, mildew, grime, whatever might be on there off of the siding. Same goes with your roof. Same story with your garages. Keeping it clean, just like you keep your car clean. It helps with the longevity and, once again, of the curb appeal.
So one of the things HOA members seem to ask us about is, should we be doing our own power washing? I hear that there can be damage. You can do it wrong. Is that true?
There is a right and a wrong way to do this. And I always suggest people, even when you're looking at vendors, look at their equipment, right? It's very easy for a guy to go to Home Depot and buy the $200 pressure washer and try and do it himself. As easy as it looks, there is a method to the madness. There are certain techniques and products and cleaning detergents you do want to use when you're doing this, as well as the strength of your machines to make sure you're not damaging either your siding or any surface you are cleaning.
With an HOA, some of the boards will go do a walk around of their property to see what needs to be maintained. What are some things they should look for to determine whether a power washing program, whether it's in the garage or on siding or other surfaces, what should they be looking for to make that determination?
Sure. Well, we can start with the garages. I'll say just about any garage in Minnesota. Other territories might be different, but in Minnesota with our winters, there's a ton of salt and sand that's thrown in these parking lots and in streets, and then is also brought in on cars in these snowy winters. So just about every garage should be cleaned in the spring. And it'll be very evident of the salt and sand buildup on top of oil staining from your vehicles. When you get to the exteriors, seeing the dirt, mildew, organic growth, moss, whatever it might be on your siding is also a very evident thing. But I will also say, as much as you think your siding is not dirty, we go and clean siding that people don't think is dirty. And when you clean half compared to the other half, it certainly is dirty, and it makes a night and day difference. In Minnesota this year, we have had, it's got to be a record amount of rain. I don't know. It seems to be raining every day, which has led to us getting a ton of calls for clogged gutters, overflowing gutters, every problem you can think of, which can create a big problem for certainly your landscaping. If you have your gutters overflowing, it's messing up your yard, your landscaping is an issue in itself. But then B, once we get into the winter season, as we saw a couple years ago, not having that proper flow in your gutters can be a huge component to these ice dams forming.
Right.
So having those gutters clean going into fall or going into winter is a huge protector against getting ice damage.
I noticed when we walked in here, we were looking at the project that's going on here in Eagan, that some of the drains, the storm drains, were clogged. That's another service you have.
Yes, so drain jetting is a big one, mainly to do with parking garages. Before we go and clean a garage, we want to make sure these drains are clear, because if those drains are not clear, we're pumping a ton of water into these garages and it'll turn into Lake Superior before you know it. So we always request that they are jetted. It doesn't have to be done by us. It can be done by us, but we love doing it. And we can come and jet them before the service. It's a quick service. We don't have to have the vehicles out of the garage to do it, which is nice, because I know that's a headache for management companies to get all these cars out. But it is something we require to make sure those drains are clean. The other time we do jetting are underground gutters. So sometimes you'll see your downspouts come down and they'll shoot underground somewhere. Not a lot of people can clean those. We have a solution that can clean those, and it's done the same way as drain jetting.
So tell me a little bit about Aqua Blast.
So Aqua Blast, we were formed this is our third season. We're family owned, me and my brother. He was coming out of school, wanted something to do. I was kind of already in the entrepreneurial world, and he came to me with a great idea of starting to wash homes. It quickly evolved into getting into more commercial properties, working with management companies and servicing HOA communities.
Ford Wagner, Aqua Blast, thanks for being with us today. Make sure you join our network. It's free at the HOA Leadership Network. I'm Mark Foster. Have a great day.